What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new here, please make sure you go ahead, slap that like button and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. As you guys know, I don't have a post schedule. I only post when I feel cute, both here and on my variety channel. So if you want to be here when I post a video, you gotta hit that notification bell. Make sure you also check out the link for my main channel down in the description box. Today, for my creator conversation that we are having, I'm so excited to announce that I have my friend Miguel here, singer, songwriter. We are gonna get into his music career, what he's done thus far, and how we're gonna elevate his brand going forward in this completely new, changing social media world. Miguel, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited.
This is crazy because Miguel is a friend and a roommate of mine, so we have been seeing each other in passing while we work on our careers, and we've had small conversations, you know, in the kitchen, in the stairwell, about branding, about his business, about music. And I really wanted to bring him on because you guys know I always like to share everything with you guys. There's knowledge to kind of be absorbed by these conversations, by just two people making either a side income or a full income or just spreading their passions. Like there's knowledge to be absorbed from those conversations. So thank you for sitting down with me and actually filming it with me.
Yeah, this is exciting.
So I want to know, like, where did it all begin? Like, I know we have the album Tapestry on Spotify. We have endless amazing covers on his YouTube channel, guys, which I will also have linked in the description box down below for you to check out after the interview. But I've just seen you do content so well. So I'm so excited to just rewind back for a second.
Sure, yeah.
And tell me how it started. How did music begin for you?
Okay, well, that's a great question. I don't remember. Okay, I remember as a kid, I was like about 7 years old, and I remember singing in church. That's where it all started. You know,
I love that.
A lot of artists start in church, right?
Yes, Tina Turner,
Whitney Houston, like all these great people, right? But I remember doing that, and I remember the pastor's wife coming up to me, and she said to me, "Keep singing because God's going to use you in huge ways." In your life. And that caused such an impression on me that I've never forgotten that, like throughout my life. So anything that I've gone through, you know, I always said that voice stayed in my head, you know, and in my heart, and I wanted to follow my passion. So I continued to sing, you know, wherever I could, in choirs, in school, talent shows, like whatever I could. And then when I became an adult and I decided that I really wanted to do this full time or get into that, then I went to college, decided to, you know, to work on my craft, to actually work on my voice. And that's when I studied, you know, how to sing Italian and Latin and German and all these different languages. And it was a lot of fun, but at the same time, very challenging because it was my first time being in a classical environment where I was actually learning how to read music for the first time. Prior to that, I never read music, so I felt so intimidated. And I had to audition to get into this program in the college.
Oh my gosh.
And that was so frightening for me. And I remember talking to one of my friends who's a musician and older than me, and she knew a lot more, and she had been classically trained too. So she helped me get ready for it. I had to sing an Italian aria. Oh my word. And I remember doing that, and I'm like thinking, oh my word, okay, so since it's Italian, it was close to Spanish, I was like, okay, I can do this. And I did. And then when I went there, you know, I auditioned, sang that, then they were like, okay, now we're going to have you sing a hymn from a hymnal. And they just randomly picked something for me to sing, and now I had to sight read. And I was like, okay. And I did it. And I was like impressed with myself. But it was very challenging. I didn't know what's going to happen afterwards. And long story short, I got accepted into the program. I got a scholarship, and that's how I started my music training. I studied with my teacher even after 4 years of being in the school and privately, and she helped me get ready for my concerts, for recitals, and I just continued doing that. And then in 2008, I wanted to finally record my own solo album. I had done a project before with my ex-wife and helped her with her project and was more like a support role. But this time, this was going to be my baby, like what I wanted to do. And I dedicated that to my kids. And that's how Tapestry came about. But Tapestry was like a dream come true, because Tapestry, before that, I went to a choir rehearsal one time. And if you can just imagine a violinist playing, and all of a sudden a string pops.
Oh no.
That's what happened to my
Oh
vocals.
no.
And it was unbelievable, but the pain was so hard. And I was like, I don't know what just happened to me, but I know it was like something bad.
Yeah.
And I came home. My boyfriend at the time was like trying to get me to, tell him what happened. And all I could describe it is what I just told you. And he said, okay, we need to get you to see a specialist. So I saw the ear, nose, and throat doctor in Philadelphia, who are downtown in Philly, who see like all these top artists. Like they have pictures of all, like Gloria Estefan and all these, Celine Dion, all these huge stars that actually were seen by these doctors. And because he knew the doctor personally, that's how he was able to get an appointment, like an emergency appointment. Okay. I went there. They told me, you cannot utter one word as of this moment.
Vocal rest.
And they put me on vocal rest. And
that's like the healing for all things.
Oh my word. It was so scary though. I was like, after that, I could only type. I could only text. Thank God we had cell phones, smartphones then. And
as a singer, that's a lot to take. Yeah, it's a lot.
I could not I couldn't sing. I couldn't even talk. Yeah. Like it was really bad. And when I came home, all I could do was text. And my kids were younger at the time, but I remember my daughter had gotten her phone, a cell phone. I think she was like probably 9 years old, 8 or 9. And Victoria was like so excited to have a cell phone. But at the same time, I was like, okay, this is the only Papi can talk to.
Yeah, aww.
And they were so great. They were really, really great. And Timothy didn't have a phone then, but, but she would just talk to him for me. And it was awesome. But so Tapestry, as a result, was like my dream come true, and I dedicated to my kids. Since they were little, they always grew up learning to go to sleep with music. So this was like my CD that I dedicated to them, and then they were able to, like, they would listen to it every night to go to bed.
I love that.
And even though we were separated, but it was something I wanted to leave for them. And so a lot of my songs in that album are, I call it Tapestry because it's like a tapestry has so many different colors and different, it's different genres coming together. And since I sing in different languages, I wanted to represent that on my album. But I also have different, like I have gospel genre, I have classical genre, I have pop. So that's why I titled the Tapestry, just to, blend everything together. And then as a result, my album fits in different genres. So it'll pop up with Christian music, it'll pop up with classical, it'll pop up with pop. So it's very interesting that way. And so a lot of people that aren't familiar with my music, I let them know, well, have you heard of Josh Groban? Have you heard of Andrea Bocelli? And they're like, oh, okay, yeah. I said, well, it's similar to, if you like them, most likely you'll like my music. So, so that's kind of cool to have other artists that I can, model after in a sense.
Absolutely.
But at the same time that I have a lot of respect for, because especially when Josh Groban came around, he was just like the closest artist to what I was already doing.
Yeah. And that's a beautiful experience to have like that connection with someone, even just to tell people like, hey, like I make music, and they say like, oh, what does it sound like? And you can say like, oh, Josh Groban, like, you know what I mean? Like that's your subculture, like your voice, your genre. I love him. I love cool. So yeah, that makes sense that you would feel a homecoming with him.
I do. It's awesome. I hope to one day meet him. It'll be really amazing.
I love that. I also have like a choir. I don't have a church choir upbringing, but I did like choir and chamber choir like growing up. And people are always like so shocked when I know like you raised me up, and like I know a lot of the classics because I did choir, because now I do like ratchet pop music on Spotify. I do fun like gay music, so people don't realize that I actually have like a musical like real musical background. But I love that you do too, and I actually love that you have the church version of it. And I always envy like the celebrities or the pop stars or whatever who have that church upbringing, because there's something special about like your soul when you just start for that reason, when you start in a choir, when you start to sing just to sing, rather than right now we are living in a world where so many people will go create a song now because they can in their room, or do it for the monetization profits that they think they will get. A lot of people are kind of twisted are kind of twisted on that idea. They don't realize that there's not always a lot of money in it all. So 2009, you released Tapestry.
Yes, so Tapestry came out 2009. It was as a result of, like I said, of that vision that I have for it. When I was going through my healing with the vocal rest and all that, and I had to go through speech therapy. I had to learn how to speak again. It was just really, really a challenge. But it was also a miracle because my doctor said that she thought that she would have to perform surgery because there was a growth in my vocal folds. And she said, and if that happens, it will be 50-50 chance that I might lose it and I won't be able to sing. So that was scary.
Yeah.
So a lot of people prayed for me. My church prayed for me. At Old First United Church of Christ, which was like an amazing church, and they're open and affirming, so they love gay people. In fact, they have a gay pastor, like, it's amazing. And they were there for me, like, amazingly there for me. But then I also, my boyfriend gave me the book, The Secret. And I started reading that. And that helped me. And he kept saying, envision yourself singing again. And just envision it, and, you know, and just keep thinking about that and dwelling on that. And the law of attraction worked because I believed that I was healed. I believed that I was going to sing again. I believed that this album was going to come to fruition. And through all the trials and tribulations I went through, it's happened. When I went back to see my doctor after a few months, she couldn't believe the MRI. She said, there's nothing there.
Wow.
And I was like, I know, because I'm healed, you know, it was just amazing. And after that, I knew that Tapestry was going to come together. And it did. And it was just amazing that, and I had this huge concert for it. I had all these musicians involved, and it was just amazing.
That's awesome.
You know, to see that happen. Yeah.
It's crazy how, like, painful moments like that, like, have to happen for you to, like, truly almost, like, appreciate the whole journey.
Oh, my word, yes. You appreciate it so much more when you have to go through that dark time in your life, and then at the end, there's, like, that hope, you know? And the light comes, and then you can just be grateful. Have much more of a grateful heart.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
It's like a fairy tale. So then you went through all that, and then Tapestry came out. So where was the bridge from that to all the covers you started doing? Did that just kind of start, like, did you notice that, because Tapestry came out, that's 2009.
Yeah.
So that's literally the peak, not the peak, but the beginning of where we're at right now when it comes to the mix of social media with music. YouTube started around 2007, so you were fairly close to the beginning of that. So, and you jumped into that shortly after Tapestry, so you were on it pretty fast.
Yeah, I did, because I wanted to. Since I learned from other musicians and also friends of mine, and they were like, "Oh, you need to put that on YouTube," and then I wasn't even sure how to even do that, and so they put it on there for me, and so I started with my classical songs. Like, I did 2 operas on it, from La Boheme and another one, and it started with those 2, and then that was when MySpace was out. So my music,
I love MySpace.
I started with MySpace,
and that was the original. People don't understand that MySpace was the original for all social media platforms, but mainly for musicians.
Yes.
I remember, like, very frequently, Nicki Minaj was one of the first artists.
Oh, wow.
And, like, it's so weird how big she is now, because I remember when she had, like, under 1,000 plays on her music list on MySpace. And I was sitting there, like, repeat. Yeah. I just loved her voice. I loved her swag. And I started seeing it go up. And before I knew it, she was everywhere.
Oh, my word,
MySpace. So that's the beginning of it all.
And then I got introduced to Facebook. And then with Facebook, had fan pages available. I just got into that. And then I thought, okay, well, let me just stick with Facebook. And I did that. And then my second album, Heartstrings, came out in 2017. And that was a journey of about 2.5 years to get that together. And then that was like, it was a journey of my life, and with my husband at the time. So it was a beautiful kind of love story too, but just going through the different phases of you know, being in a relationship. And so it has a lot of heartfelt songs in there as well, not necessarily religious songs, or but definitely inspirational. But then there's some songs that are really just about love and heartache. So like my song the one that I did, did a lot of covers on that one as well, but that one's more adult contemporary, so it's a different feel.
Yeah.
But I think it's great, and it's got some songs that I think more people can relate to than my first album. It's mostly all English except for one Spanish ballad, which is called Bésame Mucho, which a lot of people love as well. And that's an old classic Spanish love ballad. So it's interesting though, because I believe, the music is so universal, right? It touches so many people. Yeah. And when you're not realizing that how much of an impact your song can be to someone else. And even like when I do my creative work and my covers, I try to make them sound original, but the melody is there, so you recognize it, but then there's some twists and turns that are different with it. Yeah. And then it makes it sound like it's an original piece. Yeah, you know? And it's only because I put my flair into it.
I was just gonna say, you have like a distinct voice that you can probably pick any artist and it's gonna be your style. You know what I mean? You could pick a Britney Spears song and it's still gonna come out like Josh Groban style, like totally operatic. I love that. Yeah. Like, I think that's what makes your covers like so alluring and exciting, because like you can say like, this is a Whitney Houston cover, this is a Britney Spears cover, this is a such and such cover, and no matter what, we know we're getting like Miguel's voice with that cover. Okay, so Tapestry came out around 2009, and then you already had your MySpace page up as well as your Facebook at that time too. Correct. So what was that rise of social media like on top of you already starting music? Because like I said before, so many people start music with the idea that social media is there and it'll help them grow, it'll help them be seen. Yeah. But you already truly loved music. You already had an album and all that before this explosion. So what was that like when you were already doing music?
Yeah, so what happened is I decided, okay, I need to promote my album, right? So people need to hear about this album. So I put an ensemble together, found an incredible accompanist named Bart Spears, like amazing. And then other fellow musicians like Holly Hartline and Shelly Eberhardt, and we started performing together. So they became like artists that joined me in my journey to promote my music and to promote my album. So we started creating these concerts. I called it like Songs of Love tour, and then I started to just do concerts in different churches and different avenues wherever we can, promote it. And that became something that I did like for span of 2 years. So it was a lot of fun, I did a lot of that. I also auditioned on ABC for the Spanish Panorama, which is like it's like a Puerto Rican culture channel on ABC, and I was featured on there a few times. And again, Bart played for me on that as well, and it was like, that was in the experience to be in the studio and then you're performing and you're being recorded live, and it was just like, wow, that was awesome. And then I was on TV, so that was really cool. I auditioned for The Voice for America's Got Talent. When America's Got Talent came to Philadelphia, that was huge. The year before, a country singer won who used to work at a chicken farm. And he won with just playing the guitar and singing a song. And I was like, okay, I have to audition. Like, people were like, Miguel, you got to go for it. So I did. Had a friend who was interpreting my song. She was an interpretive dancer. Patricia Dogma, she's amazing. She has such a gift. And so she danced for me, and we were coordinated, like, as far as color scheme and everything. And that was a lot of fun. And we went to round 2 with that. And then after that, it's kind of fizzled out because they were looking for something else. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's a big challenge to get on any of these platforms because you get screened big time. And sometimes they're just looking for the right story, which seems like it's...
or a character. You have to remember their television shows.
Yes.
But what I love about that is, did you find out about like those auditions and stuff through social media at that time? Or was it...
I did. I found out.
That was kind of the start of us. Because before, I remember like American Idol was one of the first, and it was very much like you had to like walk into a mall audition when that first started. But as social media grew, it's crazy, even up till last year, they were doing like voice virtual
auditions online.
So
and it's been like that for a few years now since COVID.
That must have been cool to see like that change, to realize like, wow, like because I've realized that the same thing for me, like certain TV shows, certain things that I wanted to do, like the doors were somewhat more open now with social media.
Yeah.
So did you ever feel, and I know you do a little bit, because at the end of this, we're going to be talking about how to make things a little bit better, but did you ever start to feel like a little bit of the pressures of the growth of everything that was happening with social media? Because I kind of feel like when you started, you did everything right. Like you were uploading, everything's fine, but it's almost like at that time when it started, that's all you had to do to be seen, was just upload your song to MySpace, upload it to Facebook, and be done. Whereas in today's world, there's a whole algorithm to everything. There's a system and all that kind of stuff.
And honestly, I am so glad I'm talking with you about this today, because that's the part where I'm not knowledgeable. You know, and I want to learn more about that, because especially as independent artists, that's our biggest challenge. Because like we're everything. We are the everything to our own market, like our own brand, right? So we have to put ourselves out there, and we have to find ways to get more exposure. And then it's such a marketing I mean, it's you have to know how to market yourself, right? So my thing was all about performance. Like I just wanted to perform. And I was hoping someone else would do all that stuff. And but as an independent artist, it's like you're finding yourself that you really have to do it all.
Yes, you do.
And it's a lot. It can be overwhelming.
It's a lot, but I always tell people, like, it's the only way to almost get ahead. Like, there's already so many people doing what we want to do. So if you truly want to be seen, you have to study that algorithm. You have to study those hashtags and know that the right time and place to upload certain pieces of content, just so that it could be seen by the best. And then even at the end of all that, nothing's a guarantee that something's going to go viral. Nothing's a guarantee that it's going to give you subscribers. Even us doing all this and everything I'm going to teach you today, like nothing's a guarantee. But what it's really about is making sure we're doing everything we can do so that the content can be seen, so that we can be in the algorithm, so that we can be in that, especially with YouTube, because YouTube serves as one of the largest databases in the world. And it's number 2 next to Google for search engines. So people are always constantly either Googling. I mean, how many times do you have a question, you go right to Google?
You're right.
And if you don't go to, I'm not like a YouTube person when it comes to questions. I am a Google person. However, when you do need that hands-on visual of a question, YouTube is where you go.
It's huge. My son is amazing. Okay, he bought a van from a friend of his, a used van, and converted it into a conversion van through YouTube.
You can learn a lot.
All how to do it through YouTube, and like I'm just like blown away. It's just amazing. But for him to do that through YouTube, like wow, like who would have known? You know.
So he probably had that video like really well hashtagged of like how to convert. This is how you know what I mean. Conversion tutorial, like certain things like that. Which what I was telling you the other day, like there are so many tabs. I'm gonna go back in and optimize a lot of your previous videos on YouTube, because if you have an Adele Easy on Me cover, your hashtag should be Adele cover, Adele Easy on Me, Miguel cover, Miguel Easy on Me. Like you should, every formation of those words mix and match, because you never know who's going to type into what in the platform. So it's really important that you pay attention to how you're tagging the videos. And then YouTube has this really, and this is just a rough like overview of it for everyone listening. We're going to get into this into depth after the interview, way more detailed, but that optimization process is so important. And YouTube looks at that title, your description of the video, and the tags, and they look to see if they're cohesive. And if they are, that's what tells them, like, this is Miguel doing a cover of Adele. Let me send this out to other people who are looking at Adele covers. If you uploaded it without any of those hashtags, how is YouTube gonna know that this is you?
I put it up there.
And that's why we're here, because it's so, I'm like, oh, you're way too talented to not be hashtagged. Like that's like if I did a whole drag music video and then I just like throw it up. Like, no, I'm hashtagging drag queen, makeup, the hairs, costume. I'm getting everything in there, because my whole idea is like, if someone's not Googling or looking up a drag queen music video, maybe they're looking up drag queen wigs, and because I've hashtag drag queen wigs, now they're getting to my drag queen music video. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to like steer people into your art, and it has nothing to do with like being good or being bad. Like it's just, you create the content, put all your passion into it, and then all you're doing is doing the very best to have it be seen. And that's what the optimization process does. And it's not something I learned overnight, but it's something I I studied like day after day, and I started to understand more and more about it. And like the way I can sum it up now is like easier, but it wasn't the way it was given to me. It definitely does. It comes in a little bit more complicated, but hopefully that helps you like understand, like when you think about it just as that database, that constant huge library that people are going to for knowledge. You know, same thing with this very conversation right here is going up on my coaching channel, and it's for people who are looking to grow their brand when they're already doing music. Why just do music and collect your little Spotify check when there are multiple streams of income?
Yes.
You can be a music artist influencer and do so much more. I mean, it's not for everybody, and that's optional. You don't have to do that, but most people want to make a little more. And if you're already in the industry of putting yourself out there for music, why not go the extra mile and do the extra couple of things to have your art be seen?
Oh, my word, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, you're a godsend, because I was like, we've been living on the same roof for a few months now. And I see you do your thing, and I'm subscribing to your channel because I love what you do. I love your reactions. Like, that's so awesome. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I have to learn. I have to, like, you know, just ask you a few questions. And I'm so glad that, you know, that we're doing this today, because it's just, I'm just getting excited because I've been wanting to get more exposure, wanting to know how do people even like get all these likes and all these like people getting, you know, getting them to go to your page, you know, getting them to go to your music content, and so that they can, because I know that the people that have seen it, like they've been touched, and they'll tell me, you know, how much my music has meant to them, and how it it makes them cry or it makes them feel a certain way, and that fills my heart. But at the same time, I'm thinking there's so many more people
who need to see it.
That I want to reach, that I want to be able to like touch their lives and hopefully make a difference in them. You know, so that would be amazing.
Well, I can tell you right now, the top 2 things for you, which this is a great thing to be on camera, because I know a lot of people, a lot of my students and my clients, this is the top 2 things that I end up telling them also. And it's one of those things where you just forget, I guess. But the link tree.
Okay, right.
You know what I mean? When you have several platforms, when you have Facebook, when you have Instagram, and you have TikTok, you have that ability to have that description box. So you want to make sure, instead of having your YouTube channel link in there, or instead of having just a simple link in there that is like leads to your Facebook page, you should have a link tree that literally lists every single one of your platforms that you're on. And that goes right in your bio of your Instagram. And then also today, I realized your Instagram was on private.
Oh,
so now that is an option that a lot of people have, depending on what you have going on in your life. You may want a private Instagram for sure, but if you have it not private, you can, your hashtags can't be seen. So when you have, when you have
light bulb just came on.
Right.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, because people are searching hashtags on Instagram. So what ends up happening is if you hashtag acoustic Adele cover and you post it and then no one finds it, it's because you're on private. So
wow, no me digas.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I just learned something huge right now. Okay, because I have 21 point something thousand followers on there,
which is still great, because that means they all found you and they followed you like through things. So yes, Instagram serves as a huge database, just like YouTube, and people are constantly searching for it. So while we don't have the title and the description box and the tags like we do for YouTube, we just have the hashtag. So that is the only way for discoverability. So if someone's searching acoustic singer or someone's searching Josh Groban cover, if your profile on Instagram is private, people will not be able to find you under that hashtag.
Wow.
Yeah, so you, as a public performer, as an artist, I definitely recommend not only having that link tree in your bio, because remember, that is your one chance for them to click on your content. And instead of having them click on your YouTube channel or click on your Facebook page, have it be a link tree, have it be all your content in one place, and have your profile be public. That way you have pure discoverability and everyone can find you.
That makes so much sense.
And that's just without that being in question. That was just 2 things that I noticed for you just by glancing at your Instagram today.
And I'm so glad that you discovered that, because I would have been clueless.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you know, continue to do all the right stuff, and it's still not working for some reason, and not even know why it's not. So okay, that makes perfect sense.
So, but I'm gonna go in there we have like this special thing today where we actually are together. So I'm going to be able to actually go in and physically change things for you and show you how to do it. But what were some of your other questions that can maybe be answered, and as well as help other people who have them?
Well, I mean, I think one of them was, you know, how do I get more subscribers to my YouTube channel? Was one of my questions. Because, like, you know, I've had the longest, actually. So I was wondering about that. But now I'm learning
it's
just
that
even
link,
from this
that
conversation. That link tree.
So the discoverability, the link tree, and multiple placements of it. So once we get the link tree together, which we will today, that'll consist of all your social media platforms in one place. And that link tree can be placed anywhere. So what we're going to end up doing is, we'll have the link tree created with all your platforms on it. And then that link tree is going to go in the description box of your YouTube videos. It's going to go on your Facebook page. It's going to go in the bio of your Instagram. It's going to go in the bio of a TikTok. It's going to go in the bio of any other platform that you have.
TikTok I don't have yet, but I do want to do that.
It's on the curriculum today. I have a list of things I'm doing with you, and I was going to leave that up to you because as an artist, everyone has the option to do as much or as little as they want to do. But I firmly believe that you could get a following on TikTok. And if you do, you can cue them into your link in bio, and there will be your link tree. And the link tree will be your Spotify page, your Facebook page, your Instagram page, all your music will all be there in one cohesive place. So TikTok is very, very interesting because right now it's #1 as far as discoverability. So we just had a whole conversation about YouTube and titles and hashtags and Instagram and titles and hashtags. But TikTok is 1,000 ahead of the game as far as discoverability. You have a better chance of getting a viral video on TikTok than any other platform right now. It's very hot. It's very hot. And it's very hard for me personally because I'm monetized on YouTube. So a lot of the times I want to make sure I get everything I need to get out on YouTube so I can make sure I start to create a living and create a brand on there as I want to do. But what I have to end up doing and what I do is I make sure I do 2 to 3 TikToks at least a day or a week. I try to get some in at some point because you never know which ones are going to pop off. And then again, for me, in the bio of my TikTok is my link tree. So the minute one of my TikToks pops off, you're getting access to my coaching information, my variety channel, my music videos, my merch, everything that I have to offer is all in my link tree. And I never know what's going to pop off my TikTok. So so I leave that option open for myself. And I think that's great advice for you and for anybody who's listening.
For sure.
Have that option be open. Don't be afraid to try they say, people say like, oh, that's what the kids are doing. Well, the kids are making money. So you know get your butt on TikTok. And for you, there's so many different versions of content you can do. And I'll be getting into detail with that with you later. Again, that's so personalized, but everyone has the ability to show their passions on there. So no matter what your niche is or what your passion is, you can do that on TikTok. But for you, you can sing. So literally just getting on there and singing 6-7 clips. So a great system for you, and again we'll get into this into big detail later, but it would be a great system for you to have a big YouTube cover video, and then you have a snippet of that on TikTok, and then a snippet of that on Facebook, and then a snippet of that on Instagram. Always have these 30-second snippets, and you want to get everyone filtered to the YouTube. And then I will attach that link, how I taught you in the stories and all that. So we want to always, rather than, because I know you uploaded the video straight to Instagram before, straight to Facebook, those are not connected to Instagram, to YouTube. So why miss out on those minutes? Because remember, if you can get everyone to your YouTube channel to watch your full cover, those minutes add up. And you'll get the monetization.
And that's the key, because I think what's happening is I'm giving them too much.
You're giving them too much.
And so
I get heartbroken when I see your full video uploaded to Facebook and I see hundreds of views, because if those hundreds of views went to YouTube, you may have already been monetized, because you need 4,000 hours of watch time to be monetized on YouTube. Along with 1,000 subscribers. So all those people who are watching you on Facebook, we want to get them over to YouTube to not only get the watch time, but then they'll go, oh shit, I love this whole cover. I love the way this sounds. Let me subscribe so I can see the next full video.
There you go.
So it's like a chain reaction to get people involved.
Wow. So the dots are starting to connect for me.
Yeah, it's like it's a crazy world, and
yeah.
a lot of people want to leave things out. Like, oh, I don't feel like doing the Facebooks. I don't feel like doing TikTok. Okay, well, you're missing out on promotional opportunities. If you want to be an independent artist and you want to be an influencer, you want to do all these things, like you said in the beginning of this whole conversation, there's no like help. There's no team. There's no promotional advertising. There's no marketing. It's you. So how you do is dependent on how you work.
Right.
So it's up in the air, but this is what I recommend. And I, even personally myself, like I do great and I love everything I've accomplished. But if I worked harder on TikTok, I would be seen more. I would have more, everything would blow up. If I worked hard on all of them, I do what I can and I try not to be too hard on myself, but TikTok's on fire right now. And I should be doing more on TikTok. Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yes.
You know what? And I love what you're doing already. I really do. And I'm just excited to see how much more it's going to grow. But it's fun. Like even like last night when I was watching one of your reactions and I was like, seeing your face and seeing your reaction, it was so cool to the actual content. And then I was like right there with you. I was like, oh my word, yeah. It's so neat to have that connection with your audience.
Yeah.
And I feel like that you do a great job with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that was something I learned early in my YouTube training, because people do create like quote unquote cash cow YouTube channels where have you ever seen like the lo-fi music channels that go on for an hour that are just a picture and stuff like that?
Yes.
So that's what you would call like a cash cow music channel, where people literally start a music channel just to create money, like revenue off of it. But one of the things with CPM rates, which is, again, something in the YouTube analytics that we'll get into way detail later, but it's the rate of money that YouTube pays you per video. That's dependent on the type of content you do and if your face is in it. Okay. So there's a higher rate of money for physically being in the video and being present and being like a physical person, rather than it just being like a screen and music or a screen and a voiceover. Okay. So when I learned that, I said, okay, well, like, we got a good face. We're going to use it. Yeah,
get that pretty face out there.
Yeah, we're going to use it. We're not, we're not going to, there's no point in having a voiceover channel if, we're still killing it.
Come on now.
But yeah, did you have any other questions for?
Well, one of them was how do a recorder make those clips instead of like the whole song? So, like, I think part of it you kind of answered, but my challenge was creating clips themselves. Like, I know how to, like, by myself, I know how to record a video of myself to put on YouTube. But what my challenge was, like, the technical end of it, like how to make that video and just make clips of it. And then so that it's just a clipping on, on Instagram to get them to see the whole thing on YouTube. So
we can create that in iMovie, like the same way we would edit out like a full length video. Pretty much what I do is I'll optimize and edit out like a full video, I'll upload it. And then while it's still up in my iMovie queue, I'll shrink it down to 30 seconds, or usually what is cut the best. So what you want to end up doing is cut that long note, cut those moments where because yours are going to be covers. Yeah. So in my situation, I'm cutting the funniest moments from my video and uploading it as a preview. So your preview would be probably best to cut the best notes or if you shed a tear or like whatever it is that there's a change of emotion in the video, have that be in your trailer. And then right in that description box and right in the bio and in the caption, all that, it should be check out the full version on YouTube. Same thing on TikTok, check out the full version on YouTube. And then again on Facebook, check out the full version on YouTube, complete with the YouTube link. Get people on the YouTube channel, get your time because it adds up. I know that 4,000 hours sounds ridiculous in terms of monetization, but if you each video is 3 to 4 minutes and you get thousands of people watching the video, 100 people watch the video, that adds up. And before you know it, you will hit that. You know what I mean? So it's definitely something it's easy to be afraid of it, but don't be, because if you can get people, because you get the views, and that's why we're here, because you have the fans and you get the views. We just need to get them all funneled into the right place for you. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, that's exciting. You're gonna do well. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm also excited about my future. Like, I'm thinking already about my Christmas album. It'll be my first Christmas album. Yeah. It's a good time to do this because you have new work coming out soon. So it's great. So before we do any new covers, before we do any of the new album, we're going to have a better understanding of the algorithm and of social media. And yeah, just get you launched in the best direction that we possibly can. And like I said, like nothing's ever a guarantee, but why not do the very most to make sure we can be seen? And that way, when you lay your head down, if it's 0 views and 0 plays, we know we did everything we could. You know what I mean? Right. Like rather than lay your head down and be like, oh, well, I didn't promote it on TikTok. Oh, I didn't really post it on my Instagram. Well, then you're missing opportunities.
Correct.
So we're going to go through all of those opportunities, all those avenues. We're probably going to go on for hours today, guys, but I'm glad you could be here to just kind of chime in on a little bit of what we're going to be doing today. Not everyone gets this in-depth, in-person makeover that he'll be getting today, but I want to give you guys a preview of it to just let you know some of the different things you can do to elevate your business, elevate your brand, grow on YouTube, and really just be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Amen.
But I want to thank Miguel for coming on here and doing the interview and telling us your story and where you plan on going, and it's very inspiring. I'm glad we got in a lot of that because a lot of people don't understand that as artists, there are sometimes like super dark moments that get us to where we want to be, and then yes, if you get to the right place, there's revenue, there's money, there's joy, but it's not always the cleanest, you know, lightest road to get there. It can be troublesome. So we appreciate you telling your story and for being here. And for anyone who wants to check out Miguel's music and his YouTube channel and all the things we're going to be creating for him today, I'm going to have all that information in the description box of this video, as well as my main variety channel that you guys can subscribe to and my link tree. Actually, by the time this video goes up, we'll both have link trees. So I'll probably have both of those in the bio of this video. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, of course. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.